while Ern's petty level was on 1000. I cannot say that I disagree with him. This is Recap with May, and here are my two thoughts on episode 2 of season 4 of Atlanta. Hey y'all, welcome back to Recap with May. And in today's video, we are going to discuss episode 2 of the final season of Atlanta. But before we do all that, if you could go ahead and subscribe to your girl, I would greatly appreciate it. My very first milestone I'm trying to get to is 1,000 subscribers. So you could help me get there. If you're seeing this video, you could help me get there. So go ahead and subscribe and let's get into it. So this episode opens up with a white lady outside walking her dog, kind of lusting over her, one of her neighbors, which, with this show, anytime a white person shows up, I'm automatically like, my antennas are raised of like, all right, what's she about to do? What's she about to do? Where we about to go? Because that's just a theme of this show of like, hey, you got to keep your eyes on them. But we see this lady is this episode moves very fast with her storyline. So she gets an email talking about, we saw your book, we want to meet with you, so she is moving, she's happy. So instantly with my first thought with her having this book of like, hey, I want to hear about this book. And apparently, the title of the episode was The Homeliest Little Horse. So I'm like, okay, she's a book. I kind of like, even though, I said, white people, they usually the villain in the show. But I was kind of on board with her. Like, let's see where this goes. But once Tracy came into play, I was like, all right, let's see where this goes, because we know Tracy is the master finesser of something. And if he shows up, something is array. Something is on the rise about to happen. We get into Ern going to therapy, which I was like, yes, therapy, black man. He got a black therapist. I was loving the whole progression of seeing Ern in therapy with his therapist. At first, you see he's not taking it really serious, but it is serious because he's hooked up to all these kind of monitors, and there's something going on. His heart, he's having some panic attacks. Heart is giving him some tightness, numbness down that left arm, which we already know. We already know that is not a good sign at all. But I was glad we actually got into the meat and potatoes of what happened at Princeton, because season 1, we hear about Ern going to Princeton. He's very smart, ambitious, and we know that something happened at Princeton to bring him back to Atlanta, and nobody really was talking about it. So it was good to hear him say what happened at Princeton and how he thought this girl was his friend, and she turned around and just made a mockery of him. I'm pretty sure y'all know Princeton is a very prestigious, mostly white college. So he's one of like 5 black people there. And the fact that she made it seem like this big black guy went in her room and made a mockery, like it was very, I was very upset to hear him. I was very upset to hear him say the story of how he thought this woman was his friend and she just betrayed him. And it was also very, very eye-opening to see him cry, and the therapist mentioned like it kind of made you feel vulnerable, like when your family member touched you. And that is something like I feel like Ern is like an onion where he has different layers and layers and layers. And we got to the core. Almost. We didn't get into the family member, whatever happened there. But we got to, we busted down some layers of what happened with him and why does he go so hard for Al the way that he does. And it was a very eye-opening moment to see that. It was a very transparent moment to see him. And I love when TV shows give us these moments where black men are are put on a pedestal where they are transparent with their feelings and they're talking about it, but they also keep their masculinity. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing, people have black people have this thing about therapy of like, oh, you're gonna go talk to somebody, but it is really a very good thing. And I'm glad that he is able to be successful enough to be able to afford it and talk about it. This is something that is contributing to his anxiety. So it was good to see him talk through his issues and just let that out. And it was also good for us as a viewer to know what happened with Princeton. And I feel like that is them tying up the loose ends of all the questions that they know we have, because they know us as viewers, we don't miss a damn thing and we are watching everything. Now, when Ern told the story about the whole TSA lady, and then the white lady was saying how she works at the airport and she knows about how to have the service dog. That made me make the connection right there of like, all right, that's the airport lady. That was what I was like pointing at the screen like that's her. That's the airport lady. Because at first I was thinking maybe this white lady is his friend from college of like, okay, she's somehow connected. But her crashing and burning during that damn reading of her book was very satisfying for me. And I was not surprised when he had a rap party afterwards of saying, hey, I hired everybody. Remember that lady that got back on me? And it's funny because Darius and Al were like, that was like 2 months ago. You still on that? And he's like, yeah. And when he said, maybe I need to go back to therapy, I didn't think anything was wrong with that. And that brings me to my second thought of like, am I wrong for not feeling sorry for this lady? And I feel like Ern was justified in his pettiness of getting back at this lady because I firmly believe revenge is a dish best served cold, and she got it. Not only did she go into debt, she quit her job. Her friends ain't fucking with her. She was completely broken down, and I was just here for it. So maybe I need therapy. I don't know. But what do y'all think about this episode 2 of Atlanta? I loved it. I watched it over and over again because, I have to watch it the first time to kind of watch it as a viewer for the first time. I watch it again so I can take notes, so I can do my recap. And then I watch it again just because you have to watch this show multiple times because you might miss certain Easter eggs. But what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. And before you head on out, go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You can help me get there. Yes, I'm talking to you. So I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.